Hi guys, and welcome to another Solar Cooking with Jessica in my Josephine Haines 2.0 solar oven. So today I'm going to show you how I made keto quiche. So normally what's inside a quiche is already keto, but the problem with people who are keto is typically with the crust. So what makes this quiche keto is the fact that I've used pork rinds. So anyways, I'm going to show you how I do a quiche. I have this glass pie plate, which obviously is not going to attract the sun's heat, the sun's rays in the form of heat the way I need it. So that's why it's sitting in this black cast iron skillet. Now I did cheat to make the crust. I actually heated the butter, and that's a little bit of bacon fat right there. I heated this in the microwave so that it would melt down, and I mixed it around for 30 seconds. And because I needed to get this done because I needed to clean the house because my in-laws were coming over, or my sister and my brother-in-law, I should say, were coming over, and they tend to like to eat keto. So I haven't gone grocery shopping in a while, and I had a couple of eggs, but so I thought, well, I'll just throw together a quiche. So here's how I made my crust is I just melted that bacon fat and butter down and stirred it around a little bit, and then I crunched up the pork rinds in the bag, and then I just kind of mixed it together and made sure that it was incorporated, and then just sort of formed it loosely into this crust. I probably, if I had had more time, I would have ground it down more, maybe even stuck it in a clean coffee grinder to make sure that it was ground to a finer powder, but it really didn't matter because it ended up cooking in the sun anyway. So this is what I did to make the crust. I actually stuck my solar oven out in the front yard because it was the morning, and that the sun doesn't hit my back porch until after noon time, or actually around 11 o'clock is when it hits then. So anyways, I decided to do the crust out in the front yard for like about an hour or so. I put it out here around, I think 9:30 or 10, and it cooked until about 11. So this picture shows you a good example of how to line your solar oven up. You can see I'm standing in front of it, and my shadow actually is lined up long ways with the solar oven, and that assures that you're going to get the maximum amount of the sun's rays trapped in the solar oven. All right, so at 11 o'clock, the crust was standing up pretty well on its own, and so I decided to mix up the main part of the quiche. So this is how I made it, and again, I was improvising a little bit here. Typically, this is not how I make a quiche, but I needed to fill up the entire pie plate, and you can see I only had 5 eggs. So a lot of the rest of this is filler. But I added some chicken breast. This is basil and a little bit of sage from my husband's garden. Minced garlic, fire roasted tomatoes, which I actually drained it just because, you shouldn't add any extra liquid when you're cooking in a solar oven because it retains all the moisture that you put in it. So you don't want to add extra liquid. So I did drain those tomatoes. I cut up some onions and avocado. I had a little bit of extra dressing that I had from a restaurant I added. And I also added some mayonnaise to kind of make up the difference for the eggs I was missing, because I do tend to put a little bit of mayonnaise when I make scrambled eggs because it makes them really light and fluffy. So I figured because mayonnaise is made with eggs, maybe that'll work. Then I added just some dry herbs. And so I mixed it all up. I also added about a 1/4 cup, maybe a 1/3 a cup of grated cheese. And I just mixed it all up pretty loosely. And then I poured it into the glass pie plate inside the skillet with that clear wok lid over top. And I transferred my solar oven to the back porch because that's where the sun hits in the afternoon. So I put it in around 11 o'clock, and my sister and my brother-in-law ended up coming around 12. So, and I let it cook for another 45 minutes. So it cooked in about 2 hours, something like that. And it was pretty much done. So I'm sorry I don't have a picture of the entire quiche because we were starving and we ate some of it. So this is what it looked like, though, partially, the part we didn't eat. And this is what it looks like plated. So it's not the prettiest quiche I've ever made because, you know, it didn't. Quiches look really nice when you make them with mostly eggs because then you can cut them really nicely. But this was a little bit rough because I didn't have so many eggs and there's all this other junk in it. But it was really good, and my sister was pretty impressed. She wants to get a solar oven now because it's really cool. And so, anyways, that's how I made quiche today. So go thou and do likewise.